Hello everyone, this is Pratibha here, and today I will be talking about showing and not telling writing technique, what this means and why it matters. Show don't tell is one of the most relevant writing techniques where a plot is developed with an emphasis on showing what is happening through a combination of action, reaction, and dialogue rather than narrating or telling the story to the reader. In a nutshell, showing is about using description and action to convey the emotions you want readers to interpret, which creates a better experience for readers. Telling is when the author summarizes or uses exposition to simply tell the reader what is happening. It's true that telling the reader about your characters, acts, and emotions or your settings is often weaker than showing them. As a writer, your goal is to provoke a reaction in your readers, take them to feel emotions your character is feeling. The goal of showing is to transport the reader's mind into the story, allowing them to fully experience the character's actions and emotions. In other words, the author attempts to show you what is happening through images and actions rather than simply telling you what is happening in narration. By showing the actions and relationships and feelings, instead of just telling the reader what happened, the writer comes off deeper and more meaningful. This creates a much deeper connection and brings readers closer to you or the main character. The difference between show and tell is that show invokes on the reader a mental image of the scene or emotion, while tell is a statement of an action or emotion. Showing is for making the reader feel they are in there, feel as in smell, touch, see, hear, believe, the actual experience of the characters. When you tell rather than show, you simply inform your reader of information rather than allowing him to deduce anything. So, for example, this sentence, we are telling or rather informing. The temperature had fallen overnight and the heavy frost reflected the sun's rays brightly. This sentence can be again rewritten to show instead of telling. So it can be rewritten like this. The morning air was bitter ice in her nose and mouth, and dazzling frost lay on every bud and branch. If your character is tall, your reader can deduce that because you mention others looking up when they talk with him, or he has to duck to get through a door, or when posing for a photo, he has to bend his knees to keep his head in proximity of others. So rather than telling that your character is angry, show it by describing his face flushing, his throat tightening, his voice rising, his slamming a fist on the table. So when you show, you don't have to tell. Then again, let us see this sentence. I heard footsteps creeping behind me, and it made the whole situation scarier. So this sentence is kind of informing us that she's scared because she's hearing footsteps behind her, which can be rewritten like this. Crunching hit my ears from behind, accelerating the already rampant pounding of my heart. So, telling means giving a brief factual statement. Showing means using sensory details and describing actions to direct a mental movie in your reader's mind. So, let's take the following examples. Telling is when we write she was tired. Showing is she yawned. Telling is she is hungry. Showing is her stomach rumbles. Again, telling is Nina was sad to see her boyfriend leave. So this can be rewritten to show as Nina wiped tears down her face as she watched her boyfriend board the plane. Again, rather than simply telling the reader that a character is scared, you can allow the reader to experience that fear along with the character in real time by this following example. Say, this sentence, Nick was scared when he saw the monster. So we can rewrite this to show instead of telling, if when we frame the words like this. Nick's heart raced as a shadowy figure caught the corner of his eye. So these are a couple of sentences I've shown you which can be rewritten to show and not tell. Now, towards the end of the video, I will tell you some important tips to implement show, don't tell in your writing. Number 1, use the character's 5 senses. Take the reader to the scene through the character's senses. Describe how something sees, smells, sounds, tastes, and feels. Number 2, use strong verbs. Strong verbs are specific and descriptive, serving the dual purpose of making your writing more vivid while decreasing your word count. Weak verbs are dull and commonplace and will hinder your ability to paint an evocative picture in the reader's mind. Don't use walk if you can say gallop, skip, saunter, stroll, or amble. For instance, verbs like love, hate, believe, belong, live are static verbs. Unlike the strong verbs walk, say, sell, or think that implicate an action from the subject. So, although this is not a rule to be always used, as weak verbs have their value as well, however, when writing crucial scenes, if you want to create a tension or to highlight a scene, use strong verbs. Number 3, use dialogue. Don't you walk out of here, Mom yelled, is better than saying, don't you walk out of here, Mom yelled, is better than writing, Mom was angry. The dialogue is a natural way to convey narrative details without relying on dull exposition. Dialogue can also teach readers about characters through word choice, tone, and point of view. For instance, if a character speaks in a quiet and softer voice, readers might gather that they are reserved or inhibited. If the same character suddenly begins speaking in an emotional or excited voice later in the novel, readers might note that something in that character has shifted. Number 4, describe body language. One of the best ways you can show and not tell in writings is to use strong descriptive language when it comes to body language. A person's actions are really a gateway to their mind and how they feel. You can tell if another person has a crush on someone just by paying attention to the way their body adjusts when in that person's presence, right? The number 5, the fifth important tip to implement show and not tell in your writing is to show the reader your settings. Setting description is another area where you may be tempted to tell the reader more than show. Actions and dialogue help because they help keep your characters alive on the page and alive in the mind of the reader. For much the same reason, great descriptions of place help as well. They anchor everything that's happening in the scene. That anchoring means that the stuff you're describing feels like real things are happening to a real place in a real location. For example, at Horseshoe Lake, they climbed trees like children, throwing stale chunks of bread to the ducks bobbing below. So you're not interrupting the action, you're just helping the reader actually visualize it. So with this, we come to the end of this video. Do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and share this video. So see you again. Bye-bye.